the scent of potpourri, films we commit to memory. Crossing the felt ropes, watching from home on my TV, looking at all my eyes can see. They tell me I view obsessively.
Hello and welcome to The Obsessive Viewer, a weekly podcast reviewing 2 new or recent release titles every episode with an occasional free-for-all segment at the end that we call Potpourri. I'm your host, Matt Hurt, and you can find more of my work, including my written reviews, full episode show notes, and the complete backlog of our episodes and spin-off podcasts at obsessiveviewer.com. You can also follow me on Letterboxd and other social media platforms at the username of Obsessive Viewer. And if you'd like to support us and get access to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of exclusive episodes and recordings, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. I have a ton of immediate reaction movie reviews, TV episode reviews and season reviews, full series reviews, book reviews. It's insane. So that is all at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. In the last week, I haven't really posted on there. So, but I do recently have immediate reaction reviews of Exit 8 and, oh God, what was that? Real Genius from 85. And I should probably have a, the Right Stuff reaction up there too. So once again, you can sign up at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer for all of that and a bunch more content. And if you want to support me without messing around with Patreon, you can always buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/obsessiveviewer. So tonight, later on in the show, we'll be reviewing the recent Kristoffer Borgli film, The Drama, in the secondary review. But before that, we're going to go over some movie news and Indianapolis screenings before reviewing the new horror film from Curry Barker, Obsession, in this week's feature review. And joining me this week is my friend and IFJ colleague whose work can be found at MidwestFilmJournal.com, and he can be followed on Letterboxd at the handle of Sam Movie Man. It's Mr. Sam Watermeier. Hello, Sam. How is it going this evening?
It's going great. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Of course. The pleasure is always all mine. And yeah, you haven't been on since February or March when we reviewed Scream 7. Yeah, so you're back, and it's going to be nice to review a good horror movie with you.
Definitely.
Yeah. But recently over on Midwest Film Journal, you reviewed Obsession, and also you had a write-up on Escape from LA and The Phantom on 4K. So how's it going with you and all the people over at Midwest Film Journal, and would you like to speak on any of those things?
Yeah, so I'm only reviewing movies from 1996 with Escape from LA and The Phantom. No, I am a huge 90s nerd, but yeah, we're launching into some cool series. We also this month have a Colin Farrell essay series in celebration of his 50th birthday. I reviewed Phone Booth for that.
Oh yeah,
kind of one of his first breakthrough roles. And yeah, there's essays on the Banshees of Inisherin. Let's see, what else? All sorts of Colin Farrell movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out.
Nice.
And this week I'm happy to review Obsession and talk about it with you.
Oh yeah. Well, I am very, very happy to have you on. I've been really excited for this recording, specifically because like I haven't really been able to stop thinking about Obsession the last week really. And like I know when I reached out to you about this episode, you had mentioned that, like, no, not to spoil the reviews or anything, but The Drama and Obsession are like two of your favorite movies of the year so far.
Yeah. Fucked up relationships
Yes.
is where it's at for me this year so far.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna check in on Jen later. Make sure everything's all good over there.
It's funny you say that because, and we'll get into this later, but there were a few moments during Obsession where she said she felt seen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a very exaggerated version of some things she does herself.
Sure.
But I'll explain that later. She's a lovely woman.
Yes, of course. Of course. I just like before we get into it and everything, like my immediate thought is, please, dear God, don't let it be like making you lunch. But anyway, before we get to that and everything, we do have news and the Indianapolis stuff to go over really quick. I only have one news item, which I'll get to in a second, but do you mind if I regale the listeners with what's playing around in Indy this week and in the coming days?
Go for it.
All right. So over at the Alamo Draft House, of course, we've got the movie trivia hosted by our friend and colleague Lou Harry. It's on the first and third Sunday of each month. When I saw the Right Stuff over at the Alamo this past weekend, it's really cool. They have like in the pre-roll in the theater, they have a nice like advertisement for the trivia that he hosts, and it's good. It's stylish. It looks good. But also over at the Alamo on the 27th, next Wednesday, May 27th, they're having a Mario Kart Grand Prix tournament at Alamo Draft House. That is on the 27th. That is from some time to another time. But it is, okay. It's 6:30 p.m. I believe it's in Auditorium 11. So free entry, 24 registered players only. Spectators are welcome. Grand prize is 4 free Alamo movie tickets. And, this is interesting. There's a 2-item food and drink minimum. But you can register for the event on Eventbrite, and I'll put a link in the show notes to like the Facebook event page and Eventbrite and everything. But that's cool. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it because there are plans that I'm going to be doing on the 27th. I believe you're going to be at too. So yeah,
we're celebrating something really cool for a fellow IFJ member.
Yes. Oh yeah. That I think Brent and I may have, I don't know if we broke an embargo or anything, but basically our friend Nick Rogers is going to be on Pop Culture Jeopardy, which is really cool and exciting and everything. And there's a watch party that we're going to go to. So anyway, but yeah, elsewhere at Alamo Draft House, we've got this Friday, the 22nd, American Graffiti. Saturday and Sunday, they're showing Adaptation. They are also showing on Saturday Days of Thunder and The Car. And there was something else they were showing. Speed Racer. So that's kind of neat for Memorial Day weekend with the Indy 500 and everything. And then they are also on Saturday. Saturday is like jam-packed for them. They're having screenings of Carrie, Frances Ha, and Legally Blonde. So that's pretty cool.
Interesting. That's a cool triple feature.
Oh yeah. So that's such a great, like, good for her triple feature. Then over at the Can, Sam, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the first week of June they're doing Bleak Week. That's going to be in partnership with the American Cinematheque. And on the 7th, they're showing Typhoon Club from 1985. I don't know what that is. Do you know what Typhoon Club is?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. But before that, on June 6th, they're showing a film by a director named Todd Solondz called Happiness.
Oh, I know. I already have tickets, my friend.
Nice. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Nice.
I'm stoked about that. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, which might scare some people away.
It is. We talked about it ages ago on the podcast when I saw it, but yeah, I'm excited for you to see. Have you seen it in the theater before? I feel like you. Okay.
I haven't seen it on the big screen. Yeah,
nice.
I'm really excited.
Nice. I'm excited for you. Yeah, so if you want to see Sam, go to Bleak Week and see Happiness with him in the theater.
I'll be the one who's like way too excited about everything.
Right. You have all your Todd Salons merch and everything on.
Right.
But that's over at the Can. More information on that theater at cancanindy.com. And finally, this Sunday at Keystone Art, they are showing on Sunday Good Will Hunting. So a lot of stuff going on in terms of movies that you can see and everything. And of course, movies are opening and you have like new releases and stuff, but where's the fun in that, really? I actually I have Friday off. We're recording this Wednesday. I have Friday off, and I know I'm going to jinx it by saying it out loud and everything, but I'm thinking that I could maybe just spend the day at the theater and watch like 3 movies back to back to back. So currently I'm hoping that I can see Mandalorian and Grogu, which I'm not, I mean, whatever. And I Love Boosters, which I'm very excited about, and Passenger. So hopefully I can squeeze in all 3 of those. I might do a Patreon thing with that, but we'll see. But, yeah, so that's what's going on around indie. Aside from Happiness, Sam, like, how do you feel about all that? Anything else jump out to you, or are you just like laser focused on Happiness?
I'm pretty laser focused on Happiness. I'm
Nice.
Our mutual friend Evan Dossie and I are kind of doing a monthly like repertory screening of an older movie. Last month we saw Mishima, and the month before that we saw Jerry Maguire, both at the Alamo. You can guess whose pick was whose.
Yeah.
But yeah, Happiness is this month. So
that's
I'm really
awesome.
excited.
That's really cool. Yeah, I love that. And like I said, I got to see the Right Stuff on Sunday at the Alamo, and God, I'm just so glad that we have the Alamo in Indy now. Like it's a cool theater. It's a good theater to go to.
Yeah, they have really, really neat screenings.
Yeah.
It's I mean, Mishima was the most recent thing I saw there, and it looked great. There was a pretty good turnout for it.
Nice.
It's definitely cool to have this theater here.
Oh yeah, and I do want to mention, in case anyone isn't aware, like it was in the news over the last few months or whatever, when Alamo announced that they were going to go to QR code ordering, and like I wasn't aware. I don't know if this was like in what they intended at like when they announced that, or if it's damage control, but like going to the theater and doing that, like using that to order and everything, as of press time, like you use the QR code to order everything before the movie, before the trailers, and then once the trailers start, it goes back to the paper and pencil system. So if anyone's still like angry about the QR code thing, then it's been, I don't know, addressed or what have you. Those are the facts now.
Yeah, I know some people were like boycotting the theater.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like it's really the idea of a cell phone disruption isn't as much the case as people expected.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is good.
Oh, absolutely. And final thing about that is with the QR code thing and everything, it's actually pretty good because it like it goes into your browser, like you go into your browser and you can order right on your browser. And it gives you the receipt, obviously. And the thing about that is I saw the Right Stuff, which is 3 hours, 15 minutes long. And all I got was a Coke Zero. And here's the thing, like with the receipt, I appreciate that, it's digital and everything and all that, but what I don't appreciate is that they list the refills that you have. So I'm like, that's a almost 3.5 hour movie, and I'm like, okay, that's I can justify that, but like looking at the receipt, it's like, oh, you ordered a Coke Zero and you got 2 refills. Like, okay, how much liquid did you consume during that time? So but anyway, that's just a stupid anecdote.
I mean, you could have had something more embarrassing.
That's true. Yeah. I could have you
could have gotten like hammered during the movie.
Oh, absolutely. And who doesn't want to get hammered at the right stuff?
Right?
Like next time they'll like add like any bathroom breaks into it. So like you peed once. Yeah. So anyway, let's pivot away from that and talk really quickly. Like I have one piece of news before the reviews. This is just a curiosity piece of news. Paul Schrader had an AI girlfriend who terminated our conversation, quoting him. What a disappointment. So I'll link in the show notes, but Paul Schrader says he had a relationship with an online AI girlfriend, but the chatbot terminated the relationship after he attempted to explore the boundaries of its programming. And of course, he's known for writing Taxi Driver and making, the Card Counter. And why am I blanking on the other 2 that he recently made?
Master Gardener. And First Reformed.
First Reformed. Yes. But anyway, he's quoted as saying, "Out of a desire to understand male-female interaction in our matrix, I procured an online AI girlfriend." And like I said before, trying to test the boundaries, and then it ended the conversation. So, Sam, what do you make of this, and why on earth would you steal Paul Schrader's AI girlfriend from him?
Well, there was a movie about this like 15 years ago.
Yes.
Called Her.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was longer than that. But
like 12 or 13 years ago.
Yeah. So I don't know what he expected, really.
Mm-hmm.
It is nice to know that AI does have limits,
mm-hmm.
And boundaries that it's not going to cross. So that's good. That's a relief to hear that.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny coming from him, given that he's known for writing these lonely male characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice to see AI not kind of immediately accepting what it's prompted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really my only thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have much in the way of thoughts about this. I just thought it's something else. Like I've said this before, but if like teenage me could see like what the world is like today, like on paper, I would be thrilled. Like, oh yeah, okay, I can do a voice command and like control my lights in my apartment, or I can get instant information from like a voice that is connected to the internet, or even anything else, like a bunch of stuff. Like the technology is insane, but just the idea that AI is causing conversations like this is just really annoying to me. Like, why like, why are we living in a time with quote unquote artificial intelligence, but it's made by the lamest people possible, like the most out of touch, dumbest people, like, are in control of it. I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, why is this a news story?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's really not much more than an amusing Facebook post.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Schrader's, like, it's funny. He's quirky, and he's known for kind of saying wild things online. I don't understand the appeal of an AI girlfriend.
Yeah.
Again, that was covered pretty well in Her.
Right. And
like,
then
why that?
Yeah, and then pretty poorly, like 10, 12 years later with Jexy.
Oh, right.
That.
Wow,
Yeah.
I totally forgot that existed.
Yeah. There was like a few years ago, I think. I was kind of proud of this. I started the year watching Her as my first movie of the year, and the last movie of the year was Jexy. So yeah. So the rise of AI, you can blame it on me. So yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So that's the news before the reviews. I've got nothing more, but speaking of testing boundaries and being happy that technology doesn't have isn't unrestricted and is able to recognize like boundaries and everything, let's talk about Obsession, which is not this, like, it is if AI can be good with boundaries, then by golly, people should be good with boundaries too, but that is not the case in Obsession. So are you ready for our feature review of the evening, Sam?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, perfect. Me too. So, of course, we're going to be reviewing Obsession, which is in theaters now. We're going to do a non-spoiler review followed by a spoiler review. When we switch over to spoilers, we will play a clip from the trailer. And if you want to navigate around that, check the show notes for timestamps. Those show notes are also available at obsessiveviewer.com/OV506. So yeah, like I said, Obsession opened in theaters last week on May 15th. And the premise, according to IMDb, is after breaking the mysterious one-wish willow to win his crush's heart, a hopeless romantic finds himself getting exactly what he asked for, but soon discovers that some desires come at a dark, sinister price. Writer and director for this movie was Curry Barker, and the cast includes Michael Johnston, Indy Navarrete, Cooper Tomlinson, Megan Lawless, and Andy Richter. So, Sam, let's dig into Obsession, but first, what is your familiarity with Curry Barker? And yeah, for background for the listener, Curry Barker is a part, he does comedy videos with Cooper Tomlinson under the name That's a Bad Idea. That's where I first I got introduced to him and Cooper Tomlinson. Very funny sketch comedy videos on the social medias, but Curry Barker also made a feature film that is up on YouTube for free called Milk and Cereal a couple of years ago, which it's a really cool found footage movie. Really enjoyed it. And he also has a short film called Warnings, which I haven't seen. So having said all of that, Sam, what is your familiarity with the work of Curry Barker prior to Obsession?
Milk and Cereal was my introduction to him. It seemed like there was a lot of buzz around it. I feel like there were quite a few articles about, this little YouTube short. Well, it's actually feature length, but this YouTube film being, a surprisingly effective found footage film, and I saw that and was very impressed. I thought it was better than a lot of mainstream found footage movies I have seen. And I kind of tumbled down the rabbit hole into his other stuff. He has a handful of really good horror shorts, some comedy stuff. I was just really impressed. Like, I hate to say content. I feel horrible saying that. It just came out of my mouth. But his films on YouTube just were really polished and had a great distinct atmosphere, and I thought he was really good at kind of mastering mood and tone, and like the cinematography was really elegant in all of his work. And so I was very excited for Obsession, and I would, after seeing his stuff, like, I was really happy to see him kind of break into the mainstream with a Blumhouse horror movie.
Yes.
So yeah, that was my background going into Obsession.
Nice. Yeah, I've been really looking forward to Obsession because of the just I'm very excited for Curry Barker as a filmmaker, just judging from Milk and Cereal and knowing the comic sensibilities that he brings to like the sketch comedy stuff online with That's a Bad Idea with him and Cooper Tomlinson. It's just it's been talked to death, but like that pipeline between comedy to horror is so, like, it's so interesting because you've got obviously in my head, I've said like, okay, well, you've got Jordan Peele and Zach Krager and now Curry Barker. Like, I feel like those are like the three, like, my hope is that Curry Barker will be like as big as those two. Because I really admire his work, but yeah, it's just really interesting to see that kind of come to fruition in a way. 'Cause like you said, this is a huge hit. It's a big release. It's spectacular, really. And I also should mention that on TikTok, I came across like this very charming, very wholesome video that I was scrolling and then like it just popped up, and it was a guy, and he's like, "Hi, and he was wearing like a Focus Features hat and Obsession merch and everything. He's like, yeah, my son's movie comes out. And it's Jeff Barker. He's Curry Barker's father. And it was just like so nice, like to see that, like, it was very wholesome. And in that I dove down a rabbit hole there. Like Jeff Barker has a podcast that's available everywhere and on YouTube called The Screenplay Lab, which is really interesting. And I'm very excited to dig deeper into it because he goes through screenplays and talks about them through like a literary sense of the art form, the craft of screenwriting. It's really interesting. I watched the one where he actually had Curry Barker on to talk about Us by Jordan Peele. And that was a really good episode. So I recommend that. Put link in the show notes, the Screenplay Lab. Anyway, yeah.
Speaking of his family, Curry Barker's mother designed the One Wish Willow
That's
box.
Right. Yes.
And actually I tried to find the One Wish Willow popcorn bucket today.
Oh yeah.
But it's only available in Muncie, Indiana.
Oh geez.
So
all right,
I know where I'm going this weekend. But yeah, so it is nice to see, his family being so supportive and being pretty big part of the movie. I mean, that box artwork is really cool and creepy and
and his father was also script consultant on it, and we'll talk about it in spoilers, but like he was instrumental in kind of how the ending worked out, which I found really interesting.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But let's talk about the movie. I was so pumped for this from that first teaser, like knowing that it's from Curry Barker. I was excited about that, but seeing that first teaser, it is such an effective teaser that like when I play the clip to go into spoilers, it's going to be basically that entire teaser. It's a scene in the car where it's Curry Barker's voice cameo, but it's such an effective way to just bring us into it. So from that first teaser, I was in, and mostly because like it is a classic storyline, like it's a monkey's paw thing, and I equate it very much to obviously the Twilight Zone, which I'm a huge fan of. I saw this movie twice in the theater, and both times I wore the same shirt that I'm wearing right now, which is a Twilight Zone TV or Twilight Zone shirt. But which I don't ask me about my laundry routine. It has been washed, I promise. But the like this storyline, the storyline of like, this is a Twilight Zone episode. Literally, like there is a Twilight Zone episode called The Chaser, or was it The Chaser? I think it is The Chaser, but it's this similar premise. Like, lovelorn guy wishes that the object of his affection loved him, and it doesn't go as planned, much like this. So anyway, so I was primed for this, very excited, and it delivered for me. How did you feel, in non-spoilers, about Obsession?
I was hooked from beginning to end.
Nice.
It starts off as this kind of wonderfully melancholy 20-something drama.
Mm-hmm.
Like you really get to hang out with the characters, with the lead Bear and his kind of dude bro frat boy friend Ian, played by Cooper Tomlinson. And he's great, by the way.
Oh,
he's just
absolutely.
a lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
And Bear is timid, and but your heart kind of aches for the guy. He's like painfully shy and reserved. It really puts you in his kind of melancholy, like lovesick mood, and then it turns into a batshit crazy horror movie that just had me on edge the whole time. And this movie actually blends comedy and horror in such an effective way that I haven't really experienced before.
Nice.
There were scenes where I was like squirming in my seat, but also nervously laughing, and just the line between hilarity and horror here is like, just the way it straddles that line is so impressive, and was really cool to experience in a theater. Like I felt like the whole audience was in sync, and kind of laughing out of familiarity, like out of our own like relationship trauma, but also at the absurdity of the relationship trauma here. I absolutely loved this movie. It's one of my favorites of the year so far.
Same here. And I'm so excited to dig into it, because like I agree there is a level of sympathy for Bear in the beginning of the movie, and like the more I think about it, I've seen like hot takes and like online where it's like, well, did you like, I was so surprised that like Bear's like the real villain of the movie, and it's like, well, yeah, made a wish, and he's wants to like makes this woman obsessed with him. Like, yeah, that's a bad dude.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't mean to suggest that my heart ached for him the whole time.
Right. No. Yeah.
I just and I actually have some points to make about that later on. But
oh yeah.
But in the beginning, at least, he's
yeah.
You can kind of relate to his
absolutely
timidity.
Like that. That was something I found so interesting because I've seen it twice, and the first time I was like I was kind of taken aback by how sadly relatable Bear is in the beginning of the movie, because I latched onto it. I was like, oh, that's so interesting, because like, you know, he's like that opening scene where he's laying it all out to a diner worker that is like the stand-in for Nikki. I'm like, oh wow, that's really sweet. Like that's really like you can tell like he actually really cares. But then like the more I think about it, and like especially after seeing it the second time, it's like, oh, he's obsessed. Like it's not healthy. Like the timidness of his like kind of just like not wanting to say it, not wanting to ask or anything. That shyness and like fear of rocking the boat and everything, that's very real and authentic. Like that feels very real and authentic. But it's everything else about the movie is just so deeply deranged that it's just so interesting. So we'll talk more about that in spoilers, I'm sure. But yeah, just there are these little bits and pieces strewn about the entire movie where it's like once the wish is enacted and once, you know, it becomes clear like, oh, this has actually worked. Like it's actually a real thing. What I love about this movie is that it doesn't take a route of, oh, okay, well, now he needs to reverse it. Now he needs to figure out how to stop it. This isn't that movie. Like he's not trying to stop it because now it's like, oh, now I know what it's like to have someone obsessed with you the way I was obsessed with her. Instead, the deranged nature of this movie is that he is constantly trying to figure out how he can make it work, how he can keep this like overly like obsessed and affectionate zombie of Nikki in his life. And that is so deeply disturbing and deranged on multiple levels, especially with the way that the movie demonstrates what is happening to Nikki as she's like losing herself to this wish, essentially. There's so many layers. I love it.
Yeah, it's you know, it's funny the fact that it's a Blumhouse horror movie. Actually, when the Blumhouse logo came up, my wife Jen said, "Oh shit," because she was expecting it to be like one of the crappy PG-13 Blumhouse horror movies
that you are exclusively contracted to be on the podcast to talk about.
Yes. But this easily could be one of those movies where I mean there have been so many like tarot movies like Truth or Dare that kind of revolve around a high concept and play out in this formulaic way of the characters trying to undo the damage of you know, whatever they're cursed with. And they're all kind of shallow and just kind of focused on gore and jump scares. This easily could have been that, but this movie is so deeply felt and really takes its characters so seriously. Like there's a real emotional weight to everything that happens. And that's what was so cool about it for me. Like it really delves into, you know, themes of relationship trauma and, sort of, I don't know, like the fear of being in such a whirlwind romance, like your life changing so drastically because of it. The idea that you can be so responsible for someone's deepest emotions, like there's fear in that kind of ordinary everyday human scenario. Like the movie really delves into all of those themes and in really interesting ways, and just that really impressed me.
Absolutely. The way that it just like you said, it could have absolutely been just a cookie cutter PG-13 horror movie with that premise, but what I really appreciate about the way that he handles the story is that it makes sense throughout the run of the movie why things work out the way that they do, why things are connecting the way that they are. Like even down to like it's a close-knit group. Like there's four kind of main people in this group. It's Bear and Nikki and Ian and Sarah. And it's shown that Sarah has feelings for Bear that he doesn't reciprocate, and Ian, like you said, is kind of cocky playboy kind of guy. And he's Bear's confidant. He knows about Bear's feelings for Nikki and everything. But what I really love about this is that it makes so much sense why they are not necessarily accepting of the complete change in Nikki's behavior, because the movie does such an incredible job, and Indy Navarrete does like one of the best, if not the best performance I've seen this year so far. Like just a whole nother level. Like holy shit. The way that she's able to go from like manic episode of just wanting Bear's attention and affection to just at a split second pace switching to anger and like turning that fear into anger, and then trying to lighten the mood in that weird way that she's like trying to make sense of things, and then there are moments where the real Nikki kind of comes, like breaks through the consciousness, and it's like it is terrifying in such an interesting way, because it's conventionally done as kind of like a jump scare, but it's so emotionally based in that character that it nailed it so well. I was just so affected by that. Yeah, but like the way that the wish manifests and the way that it is portrayed, it's like she's possessed by something. But I was having a conversation with Mike of As Good As It Gets, our theme song, and also check out his Substack, where he's writing essays and stuff about music and like his experience in music bands. But anyway, he was asking, like, do you think that she was possessed by a demon or not? And I was like, I don't think it's necessarily like an entity that's controlling her. It's an infestation. So she is fighting to get back control. And our friend and colleague Brent pointed out that he likens it to the sunken place in Get Out. So like, it's just someone else is taking control of the consciousness. And I thought that like opened it up perfectly. So I don't know. What did you think of all of that?
Yeah, I think those are all great points. And I think her being possessed and being, the way she kind of breaks through the love spell and her kind of real self comes out, and she's constantly fighting that, kind of represents the way people in real life can become trapped in relationships.
Yeah.
So it works on a very real, emotionally grounded level. So and you really see how, this movie could have easily just turned her into a monster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just a total monster. But it, kudos to Curry Barker for really showing how the love spell hurts her as much as it does Bear.
Oh, yeah.
She's given just as much emotional consideration. So I thought that was really impressive. And Indy Navarrete is, like you said, just incredible. Like,
yep.
You never know what she's going to do. She alters her voice in really extremely creepy ways that are really unsettling. She alters her movement. And even, technically the way the movie portrays her is interesting. Like at one point, she's constantly enveloped in shadows, and you can only see her pupils, and the cinematography and lighting there is just incredible.
Oh yeah. That it's so interesting because it's like, there's only like supernatural stuff in the sense of, the wish working. So it's not like it's not like she's possessed by a demon. It's not like an entity is taking control and speaking as that entity. It's more that, here's what I kind of came down to with it, is that it's similar to, I don't think this is the intention whatsoever, but it is similar to like feeding an AI large language model thing, information and processing that information and it just spitting stuff out. And I think that like when the wish is made and that scene in the car occurs, which I guess that scene where he makes the wish and then she comes back and she's acting all weird and everything. That was the original like short film version of it. That was the first thing he wrote about it, wrote with it. But the kind of back and forth of that, where she's behaving weird and trying to get him to go into the house and saying these like weird things to try to get him in the house, and he's like all but calling her out on it or being like, "You're acting weird. Like, are you okay?" and everything. The way that is played and the way similar scenes throughout the movie are played, it's like she is receiving this, like she's processing the data of what's going on. Like it's like not robot, but it's like an AI basically, where it's like, okay, I have like an objective. I need to get him in the house. I need to get with him. I need to be with him. How am I going to do that? Okay, I'll say this. Based on, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to spoil like what she says, but like I have this piece of information that she says that's erroneous. Like it doesn't apply to Nikki. It applies to him. And when he's like, "What are you talking about?" she switches up and does something completely different. And it's just like, that's like the moment that whatever is infested in her and infecting her has processed like, "Oh, okay, I got that wrong. So let me try this then." It's really something.
I absolutely love that comparison.
Oh, nice.
That it's like an AI prompt gone wrong. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
And again, what's great about that scene is that it not only works on a horror level, but on a very real level. Like you can see that, you can imagine that scene playing out in real life, and the way she kind of takes information and uses it to manipulate Bear, like that could just be in a normal relationship,
right?
And I, like the best movies, like the best horror movies, this one is just kind of an exaggeration of these ordinary life scenarios. This is just kind of like a funhouse mirror version of a toxic relationship in real life.
Oh yeah. And that, like, it could have just been that. Like, that could have been the commentary, that could have been all of it, that could have been fine. But what I really love and appreciate about this movie is that it really dives into, like, not toxic masculinity, but like nice guys and like the incel culture and stuff. Because as somewhat sympathetic as Bear is in that beginning segment of the movie, there's no justification. There's no explanation for why what he does in this movie is anything but abhorrent. Like, it is, there are clear clear lines of like consent and control and all of these different elements that create this framework for social commentary and like commentary about relationships and stuff. It's so much so that someone on Reddit, like I saw a red carpet thing where someone asked, an interviewer asked Curry Barker, like she pulled up like a Reddit post and was like, so this theory that I want to get like a clear answer on is, was the name Bear given to the character specifically because of the trend on social media that happened like a couple of years ago, where women were saying like if they had to choose between being in the woods with a man or a bear, they would always choose the bear.
Interesting.
Yeah, because a man like the implication is that like, oh, it's more dangerous to be alone in the middle of the woods with a man because you don't know what they're going to do to you or what they can do to you or anything. And it's it's a safer bet to come across a bear because they don't have the like evil machinations that a man does. But what's interesting is like when she was saying that, I was like, oh, that's gotta be the case. That's so clever. That's so neat. And Curry Barker's like, I wish I could, take credit, but no, that's not, that wasn't the case. That's just a coincidence. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. That's the beauty of movies is like, you can put in what you want, but like that just fits so well. I really like that.
Wow. That's really interesting. And it's also interesting that when given a chance to have his deepest wish fulfilled, his most selfish impulses come out. He could have easily rephrased what he wanted.
Right.
To say like, I wish Nikki and I were in love with each other. Or something like that, but he wants her to love him more than anything in the world. Anything in the world, yes. It's incredibly selfish. Oh, yeah. And just, I think, that's a commentary right there on how, when faced with the opportunity to get something we want, our id comes out and, our most selfish side. Yes. Oh yeah. And that's something I'll talk more about that in spoilers. Cause there's there's an actual like line of just like the argument that I would make is that he's selfish regardless. Like even with that, he would be selfish. Cause like, it's not that the wish itself is not that, like you said, it's not him wanting them to both be in love or whatever. It's that he wants her to love him more than anyone else in the world. And granted, it's given to, like it's in a moment where he's like,
at somewhat of his wit's end. Like it's desperate. He doesn't think it's going to work or anything, but he says it. But like when that comes out, it's interesting because you can kind of infer from that he's wanting what. It's another way of him saying that he wants her to feel the way about him that he feels about her. And right. Because he is constantly thinking about her, he is she's his entire world. And that's why I love it as like this, despite it being incredibly traumatic and horrifying for numerous people, but also to Nikki herself, like, for sure, just incredibly depressing and tragic. But it is a shoe on the other foot thing. It's like how the turntables. It's because like it's showing him like, oh, this is what you're doing when you are like in a very extreme level, but it's like, this is what you're doing when you're making your entire life revolve around one person that's not requiting your love for them. Right. It's so layered. I love that. Yeah.
And his selfishness is also kind of hinted at in the fact that one of the things he says he likes about her is that she's the only person who really understands him.
Yes.
So, again, it's all about him. Mm-hmm. He never really says anything about her that he likes mm-hmm. other than, how she treats him.
Yep.
So it's, I mean, like you said, like it's one-sided from the very beginning. Absolutely. And the wish only makes it worse, only makes it, one-sided to a deadly degree.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like that sentiment, the whole like him only framing like what he likes about her as like how he feels and like what it means for him. Like I'm a man, I'm a guy, but like I know a lot of women, and like I would wager that every single one of them would say that, yeah, that's the most terrifying fucking thing you can imagine. Like having a guy like do that, like be like, everything is about you like that. I can't imagine a more, unnerving sort of like, one-sided relationship there. Yeah. It's really well done. So let's talk a little bit more in non-spoilers, and then we got to dig into spoilers because I'm really itching for it. But we've really only talked about the wish and everything. Like, how did you feel about it as a horror movie? The tension and like we talked about the cinematography and everything. But how did you feel it worked as a horror movie and like those horror elements and set pieces in non-spoilers?
Yeah, so one of the scenes I was talking about that had me like laughing and squirming at the same time really isn't anything outlandish genre-wise. It's basically just two people talking in the middle of the night, and it's absolutely terrifying. So like, I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, but like Bear wakes up to find Nikki watching him sleep, and they basically just have like a really awkward couple argument about her feeling like her feelings for him aren't mutual, that she loves him more than he loves her, and it's really the kind of conversation you can imagine happening in many normal relationships.
Oh yeah.
And just the way it plays out is horrifying. And I was like laughing at how scared I was. And so was the audience. And so I think, that's really impressive that you can get such big laughs and big scares out of such a simple scene. it does also have some great like gory horror moments too.
Yes.
And like kind of very much more cinematic horror moments as well. I mean, this is absolutely a movie to see with a crowd.
100%. Yeah.
And I'm really glad that it's doing so well, box office wise and critically. It's also, it's really funny, just even in the simple character interactions, between Ian and Bear. It works really well as kind of a dark comedy about 20 somethings. If you take the horror element out of it, it's still very compelling. I was hooked from beginning to end.
Nice. That scene where she's watching him sleep, it's that kind of cast and shadow thing. You can barely see her. And it's both times I've seen it looks like her face is just distorted, like digitally distorted. And I don't think that's the case, because I've seen like behind the scenes footage of like it lit up, like the way that it is with the lights on, basically. And I think it's just like the way that she's contorting her face, but it looks like it's like digitally altered. And I think that's, unless it is, and I'm just going to show my complete ignorance here, but like part of me is like, is it lit in such a way that my brain is like purposely like distorting it because it's scary and it's like heightening that scare? Or is that actually like a choice that was made? But I don't know. It was so gripping, and so well done. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you don't know, I think, proves that it's a great horror movie.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah. And we can talk about it in non-spoilers, but what was the thing that Jen said that she felt seen in?
Oh, it was during that bedroom scene. And I think another bedroom scene where Bear tries to get out of bed and she screams for him to stay. She like looked at me with a very knowing look, and just, some of the insecurities that Nikki has, she could kind of relate to, kind of wanting reassurance about the relationship and like, like when Nikki screams like, "Why don't you love me?"
Right.
Like, I think a lot of women, a lot of men and women, I think will relate to this movie. Again, as kind of an exaggerated version of the way relationships play out.
Absolutely. And like that's something that because again, if it didn't have this also complete undercurrent of like Nikki being completely a prisoner in her own body throughout all of this, like even without that element, like that social commentary of relationship dynamics and having those insecurities brought like to the absolute, like beyond the absolute extreme that they can be, that would make this movie work in and of itself as a very effective horror movie with really interesting social commentary about relationship dynamics and everything. But you get the added element of Nikki like not consenting to this, like, and not having a voice, not having any autonomy, while having to witness it, having to be a part of it without being an active part of it. It's so disturbing and horrifying and in that sense as well.
Yeah, and it also shows how their friends are affected.
Yeah.
How their friends are concerned about how fast the relationship is moving, and that feels very grounded in reality and relatable. And I mean, it is it can be strange to watch someone give their whole life over to someone else. Like it can feel sudden and strange and troubling. So, you know, like I said, like it's a great horror movie in the sense that you can kind of remove the most obvious horror elements and it's still scary. So yeah, I loved it.
Me too. We need to go into spoilers. It's time.
Yes.
So I will say before we go into spoilers and before we give like our ratings and everything, I did come out of the theater that first time thinking this movie feels like there could be like a no copyright infringement or trademark infringement or anything intended, but an odd trilogy, if you will, of 3 movies from recent, like the last couple of years and today. This could be like the end of a trilogy of relationship, codependent relationship, and just commentary in horror. And like you've got Companion with Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher, and then you've got Together with Alison Brie and Dave Franco, and then now you have Obsession. And it's just like those 3 movies, just like they really go into depth of like relationship dynamics. And I love that horror is a vessel for that in this context with these 3 movies.
Oh man, that's a great point. Yeah. Yeah, those would be 3 fun movies to watch.
Yeah.
Back to back. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Yeah. I was pretty excited about that when I thought about it. But anyway, so overall non-spoiler thoughts before we go into spoilers, and what did you rate this on Letterboxd?
I rated this 4.5 out of 5 stars. Honestly, as we're talking about it, I think it's my top movie of the year right now. Because I think it made me laugh and squirm to a degree much greater than the drama did, which was my favorite of the year before this. So yeah, this movie is at the very top for me. You know, again, I would recommend seeing it in the theater, you know, with a crowd or at least with friends or, you know, something. So it's, absolutely loved it.
Nice. Yes, I agree completely. I also rated it 4.5 stars. And it's funny because like my top movie of the year so far in this first half has been 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. I loved that movie. And now like I have like a tentative list that I keep. And I'm like, okay, I'll put Obsession at number 2. You know, maybe it doesn't topple The Bone Temple, but like seeing it again and talking to you about it and everything, I'm just like, I don't know. We'll see, but I think it might be my current top movie. Just so much stuff. Like I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface that we'll get into in spoilers, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a movie that like makes me giddy just like thinking and talking about it.
Oh, absolutely. Like I was like at work today, I was just like, I need to stop, like, cause Mike had seen it last night and we were texting this morning about it. And I was just like, okay, I need to put my phone down. I need to put my phone down and do work. Like I need to not be on my phone because, but like I kept, like it was to the point that I put my phone down and I was like I was mentally like, okay, I'm having that impulse to like add something or something, pick up my phone and add something to the discussion about it. And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, now I know how Nikki felt. Not really. But yeah, it's an incredible movie. Highly, highly recommend seeing it in the theater. We're going to go ahead and go into spoilers for Obsession. Once again, you can follow us on Letterboxd. I'm at Obsessive Viewer. Sam is at Sam Movie Man, and also follow the critics group that we're in, the Indiana Film Journalists Association. I have the Letterboxd account. It's IndieFJA, I think. But it's in the show notes, the link and everything. So anyway, follow the Letterboxd account of the IFJ. I'm going to play a clip from the trailer. If you want to navigate around it, check the show notes for timestamps. Those are at obsessiveviewer.com/OV506. But once we come back from the clip from the trailer, we're going to be spoiling Obsession. So stay tuned.
What's up? I was calling to see if there's a way I can alter a wish.
You'd like to cancel your wish?
No. It's okay to keep the... I just want to know if I can, like, alter it a little.
I'm sorry, we don't really do that.
No?
If you have any questions about how the wish works, or if you read the back of the box...
Is it even real?
Yeah, it's real.
No, I know that Is her love real?
Just because you chose this for her doesn't make it less real.
All right, so spoilers on for Obsession. Sam, let's talk about the cat of it all. That was so that was such. I love how there are so many shocks in this movie that are just like unprompted, but also they really have a heavy. They hit heavy on it. So like something I noticed on my second watch that really opened up how not good and unsympathetic Bear is throughout the whole movie. Like this is something I didn't really pick up on the first go, because I wanted, maybe part of it was I wanted to sympathize with Bear. Like, oh, okay, they're painting it as like, oh, he's really like in love with her, but also like he's very selfish about it and everything. But it's also like he genuinely like loves her, but that's not the case. He's obsessed with her and everything. But the thing that I picked up on that second watch was that in that opening scene, that opening sequence, really, when he comes home and he sees Sandy, the cat, dead, like he's cleaning it up and everything, and then it cuts to him crying on the bed, and like just in my brain, I was like, oh, he's crying because his cat's dead. Like, obviously, like he's having a hard time and everything. And like, also it's like, it was mentioned in the diner scene that, you know, his grandmother had died, and those are the pills that the cat got into. So like, he's having a rough time. But when watching it a second time, I realized like when he's on the bed and he's crying, he's looking at a photo booth photo of him and Nikki and the other two, and like he's sobbing, and he's saying something along the lines of like, why can't you just, like, he's wanting to like her to be in love with him and stuff. And I'm like, his cat literally just died and he's distraught because he can't make a move or he can't do anything to be with Nikki. Like that level of just deranged delusion and disconnect was just incredible to me. Yeah.
Wow, that I actually didn't totally pick up on that the when I saw it. But now I can totally see how the movie kind of like tricks you into thinking he's a good, you know, sensitive guy, like, oh, he's sad about his cat.
Yeah.
Either I don't remember the photos, or it's like a quick moment.
It is. And like, that's what, like the first viewing, I did not pick up on it whatsoever. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. I definitely want to see it again now. Yeah, that's really interesting and like really fucked up.
Yeah.
And the fact that like in the midst of this real tragedy of his grandmother and his cat dying, like that's what he's upset about.
Yeah.
Is, you know,
So
Nikki
good.
not being. And actually, if you don't mind, that reminds me of a moment that I wanted to mention. There's a moment where it becomes obvious that Nikki is trapped in this lovesick body. And she asks Bear to kill her to end, this curse. And even at that point, when it's obvious how horrible this situation is, he can't help but pity himself.
Yes.
And he says, "Is it so horrible to be with me?" That's his thought after like pretty fucked up stuff has happened. I thought that moment was absolutely chilling.
100%. And like the thing with that scene, like it comes after the phone call from the teaser. And like that phone call, like we can have a whole episode talking about that freaking phone call. Like I love the way that Curry Barker has that just completely flat voice, like that completely like uninterested customer service voice. But in that scene, at the end of that scene where he's like, "Do you want to talk to her?" And you just hear like a wailing cry and like a horrific sound. And like, that's like, oh, she's in hell. Like this is horrifying. And then when you get that scene with him saying like, "Is it so bad to be with me?" Like I love that as like this, like, what the fuck are you talking about, Bear kind of thing. But her response to that is like just as chilling to me and unsettling, because she says, "I've never been with you." And like that is so heartbreaking and horrifying, because she hasn't been. It has been like another consciousness. And like, it's not like, oh, he's trying to make it work because he's trying to just, like he's trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Like, oh, she's okay. Like, it's not like he's trying to trick himself into that. Like, he knows that she is in a horrific place, and horrific, like experiencing this horror. He just doesn't care because it's him. It's him that's trying to reap the benefits of it. And it is rape. Like, he's raping her. There's like, and like the sex scene that we see is so disturbing for that reason. It reminded me it reminded me a bit of a movie that I saw and I didn't like, but I will never see it again, even though it's a classic, because of this one scene. Wes Craven's The Last House on the Left, the original. The rape scene in that is, have you seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces. Yeah.
Okay. There's a scene where the assault is happening and she's the woman in the movie is being raped, and like the camera like focuses on her, and it's just like this completely disassociated, completely like blank expression. And it's like, it's horrifying. Like, it's still in my, like, that image of her just, completely disconnected faces, like, is horrifying to me. And it reminded me, like, this movie reminded me of that, with that like quick shot of them having sex and her just like it, like the thing that she is, like the entity that's in control or whatever, is just like it the expression is blank, but she's like making the noises and everything, and it's clear like it's not a passionate thing, and it's just really disturbing. And then just the fact that she says like, well, I've never been with you, is like, that's just heartbreaking and traumatizing and horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, what's also fucked up is that there is a young woman who genuinely likes him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In a romantic way.
Mm-hmm.
And people know that she's interested in him, and she admits it, and yet he still doggedly pursues this, fake relationship.
Yep. Oh yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say you're right that the movie really does a pretty masterful job of like kind of tricking you into empathizing with him a little bit in the sense that like on the surface he's like a prototypical nice guy.
Yeah.
And it's really a pretty great example of how like a seemingly nice guy being a fucked up creep.
Oh yeah. There are moments throughout this movie where the real Nikki kind of comes out. And every single time that it's done, there are like subtle scenes, and there are just overt like jump scare scenes of it. But like it may be like my favorite thing about this whole movie is that we get these like brief flashes of the real Nikki coming through. So like when they're kissing in the bed and she suddenly has that flash and she's like, what the fuck, and jumps off the bed and everything. And then she switches back to the wish one. It's so like, it's such a great way to demonstrate that, the real Nikki is not in control. And I will say, I will not necessarily ding the movie for this, but when the entity or whatever however you want to describe it, when she comes back and she's like, oh, I saw something. I like, since that's the first time, I'm like thinking like, oh, okay, it is like a demon and she sees the demon or something and it's like haunting her or whatever, but that's not the case. It's just what the thing in Nikki was saying to kind of calm Bear down. But from there we get the picture in the lunchbox with Bear's picture, and she writes you on it, and then a picture of Nikki and Bear, but under Nikki she writes not me, and that's the real Nikki like coming out and saying like, hey, it's not me, which just like knowing that throughout the movie she's trying to speak out, she's trying to like reach out and like get, make sure that he knows like it's not me, and he just doesn't care or is oblivious to it or doesn't like, he pushes it down. Just fucking horrifying and terrible. It's incredible. But the big scene, like we'll talk about the car scene because that's a huge scene. But the scene at the party when she freaks out, like when she hurts herself and she's freaking out and everything. The moment where she reads that passage that she wrote, like about Hansel and Gretel, that is maybe the most disturbing scene of the movie for me, because previous to that, Ian told Bear that Sarah had told him that, she talked to Nikki about Bear before, and she only sees him as a brother. Like she sees him as like a little brother. And I like in a lesser movie, that would just be one line to just demonstrate like, oh no, she definitely doesn't have feelings for Bear. And so that's why it's all fucked up that he's doing this. And that would just be a detail line, like a line to give context for the relationships and everything, the interpersonal relationships among all of them. But it goes so much further, because at that party, she reads a passage that is heavily graphic in terms of incestuous content and like saying like he's my brother, but he needs to be inside me. And I would like it's just a juxtaposition of a brother and sister, and then saying like I would flay him just to have his meat inside me or something like that. Like the most deranged, disturbed things. And like I've thought about that over and over again. And like it's just it's the real Nikki trying to like it is like they're fighting. It's like infighting between these two consciousnesses that are wrestling with this body that they're in control of, or that the evil one is in control of. And so the way that manifests is she's trying to get a message out, and she like is writing. It's like a dual writing thing where like the entity, the evil thing is like, oh, okay, this is, like all of the extreme hyper, just over the top love obsession stuff. And then the real Nikki is like, okay, well, brother and sister, brother and sister, brother and sister. And it's so well done. It's so disturbing. I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, I mean, you described it perfectly. I really can't add anything to that. Except just to say, like, on a technical level, like the stuff she does with her voice in that scene,
yes,
is just an acting masterclass.
Absolutely.
And like you said, the fact that it works on so many levels, and that you can tell that the two Nickies are fighting each other. Mm-hmm. It just it's a perfect example of the fact that like there's a lot going on in this movie. This is a very rich, dense movie.
A ton of stuff. And like that's where I get kind of, I don't know if I'd say territorial, but like I get a little annoyed when I see people online like having like these takes that I feel like there's enough in the movie to really dive in and dissect it and everything. But there's a running thing of numerous people, and maybe you have this thought too, but numerous people have said like, oh, okay, well, since later in the movie we find out that Ian has been hooking up with Nikki for on and off for like 2 years, then that means that Ian was sabotaging Bear, and he was like pushing him to tell his feelings to Nikki because he knew that she would never reciprocate, and he wants her to himself. And I'm like, I don't think that's the case, because it's like it's very clearly stated that they were hooking up like casually, and there was no romance or anything, and it's just something that was kept secret from him because it would destroy his world. But like nothing about this movie screamed like, oh, Ian was responsible for anything, or like Ian like did like it's, if anything, it makes it so much more organic and interesting, or like makes more sense that like Ian and Sarah don't know how to react to Nikki in this change, because like it said later in the movie that Ian and Sarah think that or Ian thinks that it's some twisted thing that she's doing to get back at him or something. But that never seems like oh, they had like a tumultuous situationship, as the kids say. That's more like, oh, he's grasping at straws, because this is a completely like you can't really fathom what's going on. So you have like, it's grasping at straws. So I don't know. What do you think of that, Reed?
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really make sense, because there's so much that contradicts that. I mean, he doesn't invite Nikki to his party. So if he really, wanted her, you would think that would be an opportunity for him to demonstrate that.
Yeah.
And there's just no, I mean, it's not like you see a subplot of him expressing how he feels about Nikki.
Right.
He seems, more concerned about the whole relationship, more than anything, and kind of scared at how fast it's moving.
Yeah.
Just the idea that Ian's like sabotaging Bear to get Nikki for himself. Like, there's just no real like evidence of that.
Yeah, not at all. And like, it's even to the point where like Ian says, like, it seems like Bear is taking advantage of her, and then later Sarah's like, well, it seems like she's taking advantage of him. Like, there's so much more to this movie than like just looking at the surface level of, and like, frankly, making up like something that's not in the text. It's just like, it's a little frustrating.
Well, and plus, like, if he really felt strongly about Nikki, like, he gets an opportunity to have a wish granted for him.
Yeah.
And, he asks for $1 billion.
Right.
So, like, it shows how, and plus, like, I think Ian is a pretty shallow character ultimately.
Oh, yeah.
He's a dude bro.
Oh, totally. And like, people were saying like, well, that's why he told Bear to call her Freaky Nikki as a flirtation thing, because he knew that she was sensitive about it. It's like, that didn't work with Bear, because Bear didn't know like what, like, he didn't do it in a way that is flirtatious or anything. He's just like, that's the point of that first act, is that he doesn't know how to interact with her because he's so over the top, like, obsessed with her. Yeah, I don't know.
Plus, that just felt like, it feels like Ian would be the kind of guy who would say, like, girls like when you're kind of mean to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Like, he's just kind of a douchebag. So, like, I just, that whole theory is a little silly to me.
Yeah, same here. And there was also some things I wanted to talk about with the cat. The lunch scene, that was so disturbing on just obviously multiple levels, but also like the fallout of that is another example of when Bear is really like it's really the extreme of him trying to make it work with her, because like we had her basically dig up the cat and make a memorial, and like that's one of the things that Mike was talking about was that he couldn't really get into it at first. Like, he loved the movie, but at first he had a hard time getting into it because she was like 211 like immediately. And I understand that, but I also understand the logic behind a lot of that, like the cat thing, like, oh, she wanted to do a memorial thing for him. Like, the logic of that is like, oh, I'm now obsessed with this man. I need to make him happy. I have limited amount of data that's been input into me. So like, he's sad about his cat, or he has his cat's dead. So I'm going to make a memorial for him. That backfires because he obviously thinks that's fucking crazy. And so then the next stage of that is the date scene where they're talking. It's after that montage of like, it looks like the honeymoon phase. Like, it looks like everything is fine and dandy. And then they have that date, and he like, they talk about what they want to do. And he just says like it's clearly like an off the cuff thing where he's just like, I don't know, maybe I'll be a food critic or something. And it's like a playful, cute, bantery thing between the two of them. And then she cooks the cat and gives it to him for lunch. And like, that again is the thing that's controlling her, like processing the data that she has. Like, okay, he said he wants to be a food critic, so that's what I'm going to fixate on. He wants to be a food critic. So, because I'm not human, and I'm like, I'm completely like, there's a force within me that's controlling me. He wants to be a food critic. He's sad about his cat. Let's put those two together and then see what Nikki GPT puts out there.
I love that comparison. That it's like bad data processing, or like in a ChatGPT prompt. And it just, got me thinking again about how like sort of shallow and one-sided the relationship is even before the wish. Like Nikki is working on a book, and you would think if he's so madly in love with her that Bear would know what it's about. He doesn't. He like kind of feigns interest at best. You just never get the sense that he's like fascinated with her.
Right. Like he's not even like necessarily encouraging to her. Like when she says like, I gave my 2 weeks notice, it's more like, he's upset because he's not going to get to see her every day. But like, a more well-adjusted person would be like, yeah, chase your fucking dreams. Like, dude, like you don't need to work in the store forever. Like, it's just, it's so well done. Much like the cat.
And that was just like kind of that's a great horror moment. Very Fatal Attraction, bunny boiling sort of equivalent. So yeah, that's a great kind of shocker moment, and another reason to see this with a crowd.
Oh, absolutely. So the car scene, there are so many things that I want to bring up. Like, Jesus, this is such a great movie. So the car scene with Sarah, that is like the big set piece of just violence. It is grotesque. It's like even the camera like lingers on it, like goes, like you see the eyesight. It's disgusting. And it's like a great encapsulation of what this movie is, because up until that point when she kills her, the conversation that Bear and Sarah are having, it feels like not out of place, but it feels like taking it out of this movie and just plucking it down. Like this is a sweet conversation of two people. Like it's like Bear is realizing like, oh, okay, yeah, well, the spell is wearing off on him with Nikki, because Nikki has driven, like, this whole experience has driven him away from that, like, obviously. But it's like that moment where where they have like that shared moment, and it's like it's a more genuine connection that he forms with her, and then she's killed. But it's like, it's maddening, because it's like, you couldn't have fucking done this like 2 weeks ago, Bear. Like you couldn't have had this conversation. Like, but I understand, like, the experience informs that and everything. But yeah, it's so good. Yeah. What did you think of that?
Well, that moment's also creepy because after Nikki kills Sarah, she says something like, "This is what you wished for."
Yes, you did this. You're responsible for this. Just fucking insane. Yeah.
So like that, it's really the first moment that, the entity or whatever reveals that they're aware of what's happening.
Oh yeah.
And that the wish is, something they're conscious of. And I thought that just made it even scarier, that, to some degree, whatever's happening, like Nikki, the evil Nikki is, aware of it. And it kind of puts her more in control.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It almost gets to a point, like there's like a moment at the end when it's after she makes the wish, and like it feels like, oh, okay, this is gonna end on like a Bonnie and Clyde thing. Like it's gonna be like the two of them just completely like overtaken by this wish thing, and they love each other, and it's like, oh god, that like it's gonna end on a note of them wreaking havoc and everything to everyone around them. But that's not what happens at the end. Do you want to talk about the end, or is there anything that we should talk about before we get to the end of the movie?
I think it's a good time to talk about the end.
Okay. Yeah. So, originally, from what I've seen and read and heard, originally, Curry Barker wanted to have like a more conventional, like Romeo and Juliet ending. He wanted to have Bear kill himself, and then Nikki kill herself because of that. But his father, Jeff Barker, who again, Screenplay Lab, check it out. He heavily suggested, and like more people like around him was like also like nudging him or like talking to him, saying like, no, it's, I guess Curry Barker's position was like, this movie is so extreme and so crazy that it needs to have that really just tragic, bleak ending. But he came around to the actual ending because his father and some other people said like, well, you can't really put her through this much and just have her die. Like that's too cruel. That's too cruel. So he came around to it. And for my money, that this is a beautiful, well, disturbing, but beautiful ending. Just all around, like him still not like, he's not even able to kill himself. Like he tries to shoot himself, but he doesn't. But like, then he takes the pills, which I love the symmetry with that and the cat, but like the reason that he dies, like he was going to throw up the pills. The reason he dies is because she makes the wish and he stops trying to make himself throw up. It's like this really great, like Shakespearean in its own right, twisted ending. So I love that. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I saw an interview with Curry Barker and the actor who plays Bear, Michael Johnston, and they said it was Michael Johnston's idea to have him put his fingers down his throat.
Oh yeah,
and suddenly decide to live as like a final selfish act. And during the interview, he even calls Bear a coward in that moment. And it is, I mean, it reflects that other scene I was talking about when he asks, is it so horrible to be with me? It's like, even as this really fucked up stuff is happening,
yeah,
he reverts to this incredible selfishness.
Yep.
And just, Nikki kind of waking up to the horrible reality that, he's dead, Ian's dead, she's covered in blood. There's money all over the place.
And then also Sarah's dead body is right like in the other
let's
room.
Not forget that. Yeah, that's
on display. Just Jesus. Yeah. So nuts. And yeah, I was thinking I kept thinking about that too, like the end, like what happens to Nikki after this movie? And I kept thinking like, well, she's got $1 billion in the house next door. Like but there's no amount of therapy that's gonna be able to bring her back from that. And then I jokingly thought like, oh, okay, but the real victim of this movie is Andy Richter, because like his entire store is like, they like all of them are dead. His daughter is dead, and Nikki is traumatized. Like he's gonna need to cover some shifts. But the second time I watched it, I picked up on something in that phone call scene with customer service, that the way that he says it, the way that Curry Barker says it, is that when you die, the wish dies with you, or something like that. The wish dies with you. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, she doesn't have $1 billion next door because Ian's dead. So like, I imagine that like the moment that he dies, like all of that money just disappears. And I'm like, fuck, that sucks.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, just incredible ending, and it ending with her screams like over the credits until like the actual like rolling up credits. Just haunting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just incredibly bleak.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a fucked up Romeo and Juliet situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfect ending to a great movie.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I can't wait to see, like, to follow Curry Barker's career. He's already wrapped filming his next movie, Anything But Ghosts, which has Aaron Paul, and Cooper Tomlinson's going to be in it as well. I think Curry Barker is going to act in it as well. And it's also got Violet McGraw and someone else that's really good. But yeah, it's about two con artists, ghost hunters who find themselves like trapped or something. It's two fake paranormal investigators must face actual ghosts while dealing with the deception of their own fraudulent business. Bryce Dallas Howard is also in it.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for it. Like I'm so in the Curry Barker fan space now. This just blew me away.
Me too. Yeah. Top movie of the year for me.
I think it is for me too so far. And it's funny because like 2 years ago, I think in May, we were both you were on the show to review a movie, and it's like we were both like, this is the best movie of the year, and that was I Saw the TV Globe.
Right.
So, which we'll see what happens, because Jane Schoenbrunn has their movie coming out in July, the murder at camp thing. I can't remember the title, but yeah, again, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. Yeah. Once again, as I have been saying a lot, like the horror genre is like just, it's having a moment.
Oh yeah, and it's great to see.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Any final thoughts on Obsession, Sam?
I would just say, I know this movie's being hyped up a lot, and that makes some people hesitant. It absolutely lives up to the hype.
Mm-hmm.
Best movie of the year so far. I loved it. See it in the theater, see it with an audience. Yeah.
Yep. Well said. Same here. Like, so much so, like, as we've been talking about it, I'm like, maybe I could see it tomorrow after work. Like, it is like I am like fixated on this movie right now. Like, it's interesting. And like, I just saw it yesterday and a week ago. So.
I actually, after I saw it, I kind of had trouble sleeping. Like,
oh, interesting.
It
nice.
Like kind of creeped me out.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of lingered in my thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Over the next few days. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Really great stuff. So we both rated it 4.5 stars. We both have it at the top of our list for the year. Yeah, that's our review of Obsession. Go see it. Cannot recommend it enough. We're going to go on to our secondary review of the evening. We're going to be reviewing, in a spoiler review, the drama. So before we get to that, I have a whole spiel here that I'm going to have to recite that I'm make myself recite. Before we get to our secondary review, I want to take a quick moment to remind you that if you like the show, please take a moment to follow us on social media and subscribe to and rate the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, or whatever your preferred podcast app is. And don't forget to subscribe to the Obsessive Viewer Podcast YouTube channel as well, where I have some video content up there and around there. So check that out. And yeah, of course, check out Patreon, patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. And now back to the show.
They tell me I view obsessively.
All right, and we're going to go into a secondary review, a spoiler review for the drama. So as such, I'm going to play a clip from the trailer. The drama is currently available on digital right now, so you can rent it or buy it on digital. It's likely going to stream probably within a month or so, I would guess, on HBO Max. So yeah, if you haven't seen the drama and you don't want to be spoiled, we're going to go into spoilers. But if you have, just stay tuned. I'm going to play a clip from the trailer. When we come back, we're going to be spoiling the drama.
Good. Okay, so hold on to those thoughts. Don't forget to smile. Okay. Just smile naturally. Yeah, Charlie, just a completely natural smile. Just like how you would smile in life. Remember, you know each other really well.
Emma and Charlie.
What the fuck was that?
Just some drama.
We found love that we're gonna have forever. Okay, I think that we'll get there on the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so the drama, it was released in theaters on April 3rd, 2026. Like I said, it is available digitally right now. And the premise, according to IMDb, is a happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails. This movie was written and directed by Kristoffer Borgli, and it stars Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Elena Haim, Mahmoudou Athie, Haley Gates, and Sydney Lemon. So, Sam, I'm very excited to talk to you about this movie because we both loved Dream Scenario. And I had you on to review Dream Scenario with me 3 years ago in December on episode 405. And this is Kristoffer Borgli's kind of follow-up to that, his feature after that one. What did you think of the drama?
You know, honestly, when I saw the trailer, I thought it seemed like kind of a tame follow-up to Dream Scenario, which was so like strange and zany and squirm-inducing and funny and like kind of horrifying. The drama seemed more straightforward, but I would actually use all of the adjectives I just described for the drama as well.
Yes.
It goes in very unexpected directions that are pretty bold. To me, this was like Curb Your Enthusiasm meets Happiness. Like, it's fucked up and uncomfortable, and I loved every minute of it.
Me too. And we were talking before recording that I'm bummed that I didn't see this in the theater, and I'm bummed that it took so long for me to actually like get to it. But I am so thankful that I didn't have any of it spoiled. Like, I went into it just knowing like, okay, I loved the filmmaker's last film. I like the cast. I saw the one teaser that I played for the trailer clip here that gives away really nothing. So I don't know what the titular drama is. And what I got was quite a surprise. Again, we're in spoilers, so I'll go ahead and say it. What I loved is that out of left field, I planned a mass shooting at my school when I was a kid. I didn't do it, but I planned it. And like the way that unravels not only the relationship, but the friendships with like the maid of honor and people around the couple, it's just such a palpable tension that goes throughout it. And like, what I love is that kind of zaniness of it. Like, it feels like a heightened, like extraordinarily dark comedy, but it is dramatic, to like incredibly dramatic throughout the whole movie. But something I latched onto was like Rachel, the maid of honor character, who she has like the way that this comes up is that they are all, the four of them are like doing like catering, like taste testing for the wedding. And they kind of go around the table and they're like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And like Mike's is, I can't remember. He used a girl he was dating as a human shield when a dog was attacking. And then Rachel is like, I locked a kid that I was a neighbor kid in an abandoned like closet in an RV, and like there was a manhunt and everything. Like it's a disturbing, deplorable thing that she did, and it's like written off as like, oh, you know, she was a kid, she didn't know, like if like whatever. But that moral gray area, and then when it comes to Zendaya and she says that, you know, I planned a school shooting and everything, it just turns like Rachel's like reaction to that is like she's offended because her cousin lost the use of her legs in a shooting. And like it's so interesting the way that this movie and the way that Kristoffer Borgli kind of delves into these like these social kind of connective social faux pas and like interpersonal relationships, because it's so not absurd, but it feels like it's a heightened reality. It feels like it's a completely different world that we're in. But it also just feels very genuine. Like Robert Pattinson's complete, like struggling to figure out how to process it and like it affecting his life. It does feel very Curb Your Enthusiasm. But it also feels very much like, it reminds me of Nicolas Cage in Dream Scenario. Like there's something to the way that Kristoffer Borgli does these like characters that don't know how to fit in their own skin with a new scenario that comes up or new drama that comes up like in their life. And I think that there's something just so magical to the way that he writes and directs this and gets the performances from the actors. Cause it's like you can tell this person doesn't fit in their skin, and they don't know how to make their skin fit when it's the skin of the situation is the external force of what they're dealing with. It's like, it's so well done.
Well put.
Thank you.
And I just want to go back a little bit to the confessions of the other characters you were describing. This didn't really click for me until now, but if you think about it, like they all admit to behavior, the very kind of behavior that triggered Zendaya's character to want to commit.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting. Like they're all basically bullies.
Yeah, because Robert Pattinson's is like he cyberbullied someone to the point where they had to move.
Yeah, and like using someone as a human shield, like that's terribly inconsiderate and selfish, and like, you know, locking a kid, a mentally challenged kid in a closet, like that's terrible. And like those are the actions that triggered her to go as far as she did.
I didn't even connect that. That's awesome. Like yeah. I was just thinking like, oh, Rachel did something horrible, but she's doing the moral judgmental thing against Zendaya, which is a thought crime essentially. Although it got a little deeper than thought crime, but you know, that's so interesting. Huh.
Yeah. So like, it's funny that in Robert Pattinson's confession is totally glossed over. Like no one even talks about it really. Like, And cyberbullying can get pretty serious, and he even admits that the kid moved because of him or something like that, something pretty drastic. And yet, you know, Zendaya's actions, which are extreme, they're the most judged of all the confessions. So, you know, that's interesting. And just like there's some moments in this that are just horribly uncomfortable, like you know, like comedy of manners kind of thing. Like at one point Zendaya a character that Robert Pattinson almost has sex with walks in on him and Zendaya, and she thinks he's talking about the affair, and like she kind of like spills the beans, and that moment's horribly uncomfortable. It's yet funny and
and the way that kind of just is built up is like Zendaya thinks that she overhears Misha saying something about a school shooting, and it's because Charlie, Robert Pattinson, had like asked her a hypothetical, like what would happen if your boyfriend like planned a school shooting but didn't do it, and like he freaks out over it because he's just, you know, he's dealing with a lot of shit, and he ends up kissing her, and like they almost like have sex, but he snaps out of it and he leaves. But it's like a comedy of errors. Like she overhears something about school shooting, so she brings her in, and like and Charlie is like, he's incapable of like saying anything. Like he has like this moment, like a deer in headlights kind of moment. It's so done, like it's so well done. And like throughout the movie I was thinking like, this is a non sequitur, but I kept thinking like, I wonder what is the most like fucked up like wedding thing in a movie? Like what is the most disastrous wedding that happens in a movie? And I'm like, well, obviously like probably Kill Bill, but more so like what's like that's leading up to the wedding. And this one's pretty out there, pretty up there.
And it's interesting too, because this one has sort of a similar "be careful what you wish for" theme, in the sense that, you know, marriage is about loving someone for better or worse, and this like puts that to the test in such an extreme way.
Oh yeah,
like her worst is planning a school shooting, and just, you know, it really explores the absurdity of the whole for better or worse scenario.
Oh yeah. You might say it's a dream scenario.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, there's also this not running thing with Kristoffer Borgli, but like I appreciate how like this is incredibly cringy, like cringe drama. But there is a moment where Charlie and oh my god, what is Zendaya's character's name? Charlie and Emma are about to have sex, or trying to have sex, and like Charlie just can't make it work because, you know, he's got a lot on his mind. And it's such an awkward scene, and it reminded me, it didn't reach near the height of this scene from Dream Scenario, but it just reminded me like, oh yeah, Dream Scenario has that very uncomfortable, like not to put it too delicately, fart come fart scene. Like there's just something to the way that he has like these, the way that he handles like men in crisis in these two movies at least is just, it's really, really well done. Yeah.
And yeah, agreed. And unlike Obsession, this one actually has like kind of a sweet ending.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It definitely like it definitely has this like not open-ended, but well, kind of open-ended, but it's a sweet ending. And yeah. I don't know. Oh, that's what I was getting at. It has a sweet ending and everything, but in that diner scene when he's like his face is all bloody and everything, it's like the last scene of the movie. There was a moment where I was like, the whole movie I'm thinking like Robert Pattinson is killing it. He's great. He's fantastic in this. And then like I just had this moment where I was like, oh yeah, he's fucking Batman. Like just like the range that he has, but just between these two movies is like insane. Like it's really cool.
Yeah, he's made really bold career choices. He always does really interesting stuff. I mean, the Twilight movies excluded.
Sure.
But I mean, I guess they're interesting in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Zendaya's great too. Like you can really feel her frustration because she has dramatically changed as a person. You know, and like she's not evil and you know, she and Robert Pattinson's character like kind of have these therapy sessions with each other almost, and kind of talk through you know, her trajectory, and it's almost like he's actually getting to know her in a way that he didn't before making this kind of insane commitment. It kind of, in that sense, very subtly kind of pokes fun at the idea of marriage, like committing to this person that, you know, you may not really know as well as you think you did, and you know, testing that idea in the most extreme way. Like,
oh yeah.
That's great stuff.
Oh, absolutely. It's really good. Yeah, I don't know what else to really say about it because we're running a little low on time, but I was, yesterday was such a good day for me because like I came home from work, went to the theater, saw Obsession again, came home and watched the drama, and like that's a damn good double feature.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Just really, really good. So yeah. Anything else you want to say about the drama? Anything that we should talk about? The actual wedding scene, like the toasts and everything, like just really well done. The cringe of it all, the awkwardness of it with Elena Haim's scene where it's like the most like not even necessarily passive aggressive, but just like angry, nice, and also passive aggressive. Like it's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. The wedding scene is great. And there's this sort of like dream version, that plays out like a shooting.
Yes.
And actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and bring that up. Like, I don't think this movie handles the shooting subject in like a flippant way.
Right.
I think it handles it pretty sensitively, actually. And I don't know, how did you feel about that?
Oh, absolutely. Like there's like this almost ambiguity to some of the scenes where it's like you said, they're having kind of like these makeshift like therapy sessions with each other, and we get like as she's telling her like story, answering his question, saying like, yeah, no, I was just in a bad place, I was doing this, I planned it this way and everything. We get these like flashes to her doing that as a kid, like practicing with the gun and like doing all of this research, making videos like on her webcam, and there are moments where like we see Charlie, like they're walking down the street, and like suddenly like Zendaya changes over into the kid, to the child actress, and it's like it's communicating to us that like, okay, yeah, Charlie can't like separate like what he's now learned from like the person that he loves and knows now. And like there are moments in those flashes where we see her as a kid, like where I was wondering, like, is it intentionally ambiguous that I don't know if all of them are like actual flashbacks or if we're just seeing like Charlie's interpretation of it, like the extreme of it, because we get those flashes of like the wedding with the dead bodies and everything. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be in his head, him seeing it, or if that's an actual flashback to her as a kid.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I hadn't really considered that.
Yeah.
That the flashes aren't from her point of view. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. It brings a lot to the movie. And like the social commentary of it all, like, I mean, it is a dark comedy, and it's highly dramatic and very cringy, but it does deal, like you said, with that subject matter it's not precarious. It's done in a way that is respectful, and it just makes his reaction, like it's the discomfort of his reaction that makes it a dark comedy. But the actual kind of overall tone of it is more dramatic, and I appreciated that balance a lot.
Well put, yeah, and it kind of reminds me of a connection between both of these movies. Like they both easily could have boiled down to, isn't this wacky?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like they're both incredibly deep and thoughtful, and yeah, like they both have this kind of like wacky premise that they just treat with incredible depth.
Totally. Yeah. And I'm so delighted that now, I mean, in the past week, I've added 2 movies to my, like, probably going to be on my top 10 list at the end of the year. Just it's, and we have half a year left. I'm thrilled. Yeah.
It's great that I'm happy you, that both of these resonated with you, and it's nice to talk about something we're both excited about, as opposed to Scream 7, which was, such a bummer.
Yeah, me shitting all over your opinion of it.
I was like, well, it might be okay.
I'm sorry, for the record.
Oh, no, it was a great conversation.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, well, that'll do it for our review of the drama. I rated it on Letterboxd 4.5 stars. Sam, what did you rate it? And any parting thoughts on the drama?
4.5 for me as well. Very close. Number 2 movie of the year for me at the moment. Yeah, just absolutely loved it.
Nice. Yeah, it's one of those things that I'm excited because, like I said before, the Bone Temple has been sitting at number 1, mostly because I haven't watched as much as I would have liked to. But like these 2 came in like a wrecking ball. And like right now, I think the drama it's tied for second place with the Bone Temple, and I'm excited because it means that later in the year, I feel like I'm going to have a blast rewatching all of these movies to try to figure out where they'll land. So I'm excited for that. So, but I will let you go here, Sam, and we'll close out the episode. Before we do that, can you tell people where they can find you online and find your work online, and also if you have anything coming up in terms of writing or podcasting or anything?
Yeah, so you can find my work at MidwestFilmJournal.com or my reviews on Letterboxd at Sam Movie Man. I have a review of Obsession up at the moment, and that Colin Farrell essay I mentioned on Phone Booth. I'll be reviewing Backrooms, which comes out next week. And then I'm also reviewing the Apple TV Cape Fear series.
Oh, nice.
So stay tuned for that. And thanks so much for having me. It was a blast as always.
As always, it is a blast talking to you. And don't be surprised if I message you begging you to come on for Backrooms.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Please do.
Oh yeah. Nice. That is a verbal contract. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Sam. And thank you to the listeners for listening to this episode. If you have any thoughts on either movie or anything, you know where to find me. Also, email me, matt@obsessiveviewer.com. That's it for this week's episode of The Obsessive Viewer. As always, thank you so much for listening, and make sure to follow the show on social media and subscribe to the podcast on your preferred podcast app. Also, check out our other shows, Tower Junkies, a Stephen King podcast hosted by Tiny and myself, and Anthology, The Twilight Zone, and classic sci-fi podcast hosted by me. Next week on the show, I'm going to be reviewing I Love Boosters and Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. So look forward to that. And I should have an appearance on our friends Andy and Logan's The Odd Trilogies podcast coming out soon. At some point, it is yet to be recorded, but be on the lookout for that. So I'm going to start playing myself out. I forgot to do that much earlier in this rambling thing. So, also check out Patreon, patreon.com/obsessiveviewer for a ton of exclusive content. And like I said, next week, I'll be back with I Love Boosters and Mandalorian and Grogu. Until then, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week. And now, enjoy this short clip from a recent Patreon exclusive episode. For the full episode and more Patreon exclusive content, sign up at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. It was a question of, are you going to be a father or not? And it's introduced in a way that she says that, I know that you were always uncertain about that. I know that was always something that you weren't sure about. So it's decision time. What are you going to do? And that's what kind of brings us into the whole Exit 8 scenario, because he is going through, and like right after that, he gets into the labyrinthian Exit 8 hallway thing, which I will say absolutely point to point, exactly like the video game. It's not a complex set to set up. It's not a complicated thing to replicate from the video game, of course, but it looks and feels exactly like the video game. Like even the sound design, like the first couple of times that he goes in the hallway, you hear like a click that is very prevalent in the video game. It's just a minor little click. And for the first 10, 15, probably 20 minutes of the movie, it's him working out what is happening and how to work through it. Thank you for listening to the Obsessive Viewer podcast. This episode was produced and edited by me, Matt Hurt. If you have feedback, thoughts on our episodes, or just want to connect, you can email me at matt@obsessiveviewer.com. For more information on this show, including a full archive of our episodes and show notes, visit obsessiveviewer.com. And if you enjoyed the show, please give us a follow on social media and subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice so you never miss an episode. Also, consider rating and reviewing the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Audible to help increase our visibility and grow our community. If you want to support the show and get early access to new episodes, as well as a steady stream of exclusive episodes, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/obsessiveviewer. For information on more podcasts presented by obsessiveviewer.com, visit obsessiveviewer.com/podcasts. Our theme song is A Little Mad Sometimes by As Good As It Gets. For more of their music, check them out on Spotify and at asgoodasitgetsmusic.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Get up to 2 months of free podcasting service with Libsyn. Check out the show notes for your promo code to get started podcasting today.